It's almost of us are looking forward to a great year ahead. Many of us were looking down the road, down to the bathroom scale, maybe, seeing some disappointment, some frustration.
Kind of like, what? How did that happen? Local weight loss expert Dr. John Schellenberg from the One Light Weight Loss Center is here to explain how to make your New Year's resolutions of weight loss last and become a reality. Great to have you here, man. Happy New Year. This is like the biggest New Year's resolution. Everybody wants to lose some extra weight. So what's the #1 secret to losing that unwanted weight?
Well, thanks, first of all, for having me here, and that's a great question. In my opinion, the #1 secret to losing weight and keeping it off is to make sure you're losing the right kind of weight, and that's the abnormal fat. So most people don't realize, but we actually have 3 kinds of fat. We've got reserve fat, and you've got structural fat, and you have abnormal fat. The reserve fat is what keeps us alive overnight when you're not eating, basically, unless you're getting up at 2 a.m. hitting the fridge. That's the reserve fat that's going to get taken care of first. Then the structural fat is what's actually lining the brain and your nerve cells, and it's on the bottom of your feet, it's around your organs for cushion. We need that stuff. And then of course there's the abnormal fat, and that's the stuff we don't need. That's the stuff that we pack around. It doesn't look good. It feels terrible. It makes us sick, basically. And so the problem is when you just simply reduce your calories, what happens in the body, and this is unfortunately the way we're wired, but the first thing that goes is your reserve fat. The second thing that goes is your structural fat. And then the third thing that goes is your muscle. So your body will actually start burning muscle before you get into the abnormal fat. And so that's the problem. And if you've ever seen anybody who's lost a significant amount of weight the wrong way, they don't look well. They don't look healthy. They're very gray. And so the idea here is just bypass the structural fat burning, the muscle burning, and the reserve fat burning, and just go into your abnormal fat burning. And we basically can show you how to do that.
And so once people do lose the weight with your program, how do you help them keep it off? Because that's sometimes the biggest problem for a lot of people.
Absolutely. In fact, I always say it's easy to lose weight. It's just really hard to keep it off. And so that's a great question. A couple things on that. #1, realistically, if you're at a certain set point, you're at a certain weight right now and you've been there for 6 months or 6 years, you're at a set point. So you can eat cheeseburgers or salads and you pretty much don't see any difference on the scale. Okay, so that's a set point. Your body's going to always oscillate around that point. Now, if you go and take 20 or 30 or 40 pounds off, like I did on this program in about 6 weeks, and that's typical for guys, about 30 to 40 pounds in 6 weeks. Gals a little bit less, I'm sorry. But the idea is once you've lost that weight by burning this abnormal fat, if you don't go down and you actually reset your basal metabolic rate, that's your body's metabolism, you have to reset it. And if you don't, guess what? Your brain will take you back to its old set point, and guess what the weight does? It comes right back with it. So the idea is here we have a very specific process. It takes another 3 to 5 weeks on the program, and we'll teach you how to actually reset your basal metabolic rate.
Wow.
Wow. And so in your opinion, what's the one missing ingredient when it comes to weight loss?
Well, I got to tell you that I think the biggest missing link in the entire industry is adequately dealing with the emotional component. And that happens to be my specialty. That's my background. I didn't go to school to learn how to help people lose weight. Until I got fat, it wasn't an issue. And so what I bring to the table is something called neuro-emotional techniques. So here's the deal. We've got 3 parts to the brain. You've got your reptilian brain, which is for survival. It's what keeps you alive. Your heart's working. You're not thinking about it. Then you've got your neocortex. That's your thinking part. And then there's the subconscious, or the limbic brain, or the mammalian brain. Okay, so the thinking part of your brain handles about 40 pieces of information per second. All right? So logically, we all know we can't eat bacon double cheeseburgers and banana splits and lose weight. We know that's logical, right? We also know from a survival standpoint, if we didn't eat that, we're not going to die. So what is it that drives the car to Dairy Queen when you're on a diet? Right? It's your emotional brain.
Yeah.
Now, the emotional brain handles 40 million pieces of information per second. So guess what's running your life? That one. So if you really want to lose weight, you burn your abnormal fat, then you reset your metabolic rate, and you heal the underlying emotional issues that are associated with why we put on extra weight and carry it.
So let's tell people quickly how they can get a hold of you to help them get on this program.
You bet. So first of all, consultations are always free. There's never a charge to sit down for a half-hour one-to-one with me. And the best way, you can either call the office at 701-850-9796, or you can schedule online on our easy scheduler at fargofatburn.com.
Awesome.
Good stuff, man. Thank you for being here.
Thank you.
When we come back, we're talking some yoga right after this.